Welcome back to the Panthers.com video mailbag presented by CEENTA. Staff writer Max Henson here answering your questions as the Panthers look to put back-to-back wins together when they head to LA to take on the Rams. We got our first question this week from Little Jim Gordon, who says, has the offensive line gotten into a rhythm? They've only allowed 3 sacks in the past 3 games. Yeah, I think the offensive line has gotten into a bit of a rhythm, and it's a particularly impressive feat considering the injuries they've had to deal with along that front. Left tackle Michael Orr continues to remain in the concussion protocol. He hasn't been available for the past few games. That's forced Mike Remmers to play left tackle. Darrell Williams has come in to play the right tackle spot. And then last week, the majority of the game, the Panthers were without All-Pro center Ryan Khalil. So Gino Gradkowski has to step in. And you look at all those moving parts, and you said it, that they've done a great job. They've been able to keep the run game going. They've been keeping Cam Newton protected. He was only sacked once against Arizona. So yeah, this offensive line I think is doing well in spite of all the injuries, and that's part of this game. You're going to see that, especially at the offensive line position. Guys are going to go down from time to time. They've done a good job banding together. And really, I think you've got to spotlight Remmers and Williams, the 2 tackle spots. I think Mike Remmers played one of his better games in his career against Arizona, really keeping Chandler Jones quiet. And Darrell Williams, you haven't heard his name much, but that's not such a bad thing for a young offensive lineman. He's been holding his own on the right side, and those 2 are really giving Carolina a chance to have success offensively. Got our next question from Anna Freifeld, who says, will the changes implemented last week, defensively more blitzes and offensively shorter passes, continue into this week? Well, after you have a great performance and a win, much needed at that, you certainly want to carry over some of those things. I think when you start defensively, the blitzing for Carolina is something Sean McDermott talked about, and he really referenced the fact that it's going to be kind of a game-by-game basis when it comes to how aggressive you are with your blitz packages. A lot of factors come into play, the flow of the game, the certain matchups, the team you're up against. I think we're going to continue to see Sean be aggressive, but it's definitely a measured approach. We wrote about that, and you can read more on that subject on Panthers.com. Offensively, I think, yeah, shorter passes is always kind of something Carolina has wanted to have a part of its offense, and it's something you might need against this Rams defensive front. They're very good at getting after the passer. Aaron Donald, one of the best interior defensive pass rushers in this league. So Cam might have to be a little quick with the trigger and get the ball out to his playmakers, and that's always can be a good thing at times. We saw that against Arizona. It's never a bad thing to get the ball into the hands of your guys on the outside, let them go make plays for you. Got our last question from Spooky Carlos, who says, when was the last time we went against the Rams? Do you think we might have some trouble on defense due to Todd Gurley? Well, last time Carolina and now the Los Angeles Rams squared off was back when they were the St. Louis Rams in 2013. It was a hard-fought victory for the Panthers here at Bank of America Stadium. Of course, a lot has changed in addition to where that team plays now, and you mentioned it, Todd Gurley being one of them. Wasn't on that team, now one of the better young players in the NFL, Rookie of the Year last year. Hasn't had tremendous production so far in this season, but he's the centerpiece feature back in this Rams offense, and regardless of what the stats say, you know he's going to get the ball a ton. Priority number 1 for Carolina defensively every week is stopping the run. They've done a great job at that as of late, specifically against Arizona last week, limiting David Johnson. Overall, Carolina's run defense is among the best in the NFL, 80.1 yards a game allowed. That's 3rd best in the league. They, of course, want to keep that going into this week against Los Angeles. To have success against this Rams team, it starts with stopping Todd Gurley. Thanks for the question this week, everybody. We'll do it again next time right here on Panthers.com.